He served Charleston's East Side as councilman for 7.5 years, but not without controversy. And in this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I talk exclusively with Kwadjo Campbell. You know, Kwadjo, a lot of Charlestonians haven't seen you in a while.
Right here.
Tell me, how are you?
Doing very well.
Yes. And you know, you left Charleston City Council after 7 years?
7.5.
Yeah, tell me, do you miss it?
I do miss working with people.
Yes.
But all of the public aspects of it, I'm very much enjoying life in the private sector.
And speaking of that, you actually are the president of Kwadjo Campbell's Associates. Talk to me how about that's going.
It's going well. We do a number of things to help develop strategies to build self-sustainable communities.
Yes.
And we enjoy our work, working in Greenville and the Charleston area.
And from being a politician to owning your own consulting firm, tell me, how did that come about?
Well, you learn a lot. You're involved in a lot of different community development aspects, and my thing has always been economic development.
Sure.
And when I left the public sector, that desire to serve the community doesn't go anywhere.
Yes.
And so we just transitioned from the public to the private sector.
Yeah, and you live in Greenville these days. Tell me how that's going.
It's going good. I also just recently got my master's in education, so I'm also an 8th grade English teacher as well.
How's that going?
Awesome. Love it.
You practically spent most of your life here in Charleston. Tell me, do you miss it?
Not really. I spent most of my life between Charleston, Key West, Florida, North Virginia, and LA, California.
Really?
I was born.
That's all right. So you travel around the world.
I have.
Well, let's walk down memory lane. Let's take it back.
I do miss Charleston, and me and my family will be relocating here, not anytime soon, but in the future.
That is awesome. That is good to hear, because a lot of people miss you. Let's walk down memory lane. Talk to the time when you first got elected to Charleston City Council. Take me back to that night. What were your first thoughts going to your mind?
Really, I can't even remember that first night.
Yes.
But I will tell you, I did have an awesome sense of responsibility as it relates to dealing with the many challenges we were confronted with, and still are confronted with in our community.
Yes. And you actually got reelected in March 2002. Tell me, did you ever think you would get reelected?
Yeah, we were very popular within the district.
Right.
If you do your job, people will rehire you.
Yes. And let's talk about during your time on Charleston City Council. You mentioned you were plagued with controversy. Talk to me. How did you deal with that?
You just take it in stride.
Yes.
You take it as it comes and deal with it the best way you can. I will say that prayers from people who I don't even know, and a lot of people who I do know, got me through it.
And of course, on the Charleston City's East Side, you're a household name.
Yes.
Talk to me about your time on there, because there's a lot of memories down there.
Well, my great-grandparents, grandparents, mom, everybody's from the East Side.
Right.
So, there's so much family over there. That's all I can say about the East Side. Family.
Yes. And during your time on City Council, you actually switched from Democrat to Republican. Talk to me about why the Republican Party was attracted to you.
Well, I guess say I'm pretty conservative. You look at my time on City Council.
Right.
I don't believe in frivolously spending money on projects that the private sector can do themselves, and that is still my philosophy. I do understand the role that government plays in the development and redevelopment of our communities.
Sure.
And the growth of our communities. I just think that we should draw a line when it comes to mixing public and private sector issues. Now, there is a role to play when where the public and the private partnership can, and the private sector can partner.
Sure.
So I'm not saying I'm against that, but when the public sector totally takes over from the private sector, that's it's an unhealthy precedent to set.
And isn't it true that you were a Democrat when you became a student at the College of Charleston here?
Actually, when I became a student at the College of Charleston here, I wasn't anything but a student at the College of Charleston.
Right.
But I did get involved, I guess in my junior year, I got involved with the Democratic Party and became second vice chair for the Charleston County Democratic Party.
Wow.
And the rest you say was history.
History. And I heard, too, that you grew up around politics around your grandfather.
Yeah, my grandfather was very vocal. He was a Republican, as a matter of fact, being a military vet.
That's right. That's right. Let's talk about your days at the college in Charleston. Who was Kwadjo Campbell as a college student?
College student is Omega Psi Phi. President of the Black Student Union. We started the NAACP here. We ran all the after-school programs in all of the public housing complex here. We did an annual economic development summit for people in the community. We had the African American Performance Troupe, where we did plays, poetry recitals, live music jams. You know, we had a great time here. And I was an African and African American history student,
yes,
and a theater student.
That's right. Tell me, how did the theater bug bite you?
I don't know, but I love the theater. I guess I've always been an artist.
Okay.
But writing has always been my thing. But I just got on the stage and loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, you majored in history, and you also worked at the Avery Research Center.
Yes.
Talk to me about your experience there.
It's a great facility. You know, they archive and collect the history of African Americans in the Low Country in South Carolina.
Yes.
But they did a lot to teach me about leadership in the Black community. When you do something, do it well. That's what I love.
And before the college, you actually spent your 4 years at Burke High School.
Yeah. Let's not forget in between there, a stint in the Marine Corps.
That's right. How did the military bug bite you? I mean,
my father was in the Marine Corps, and I just followed after his footsteps. My grandfather was in the Navy. I believe that every young man should, when they graduate high school, should either as a full serviceman or as a reserve, give something back to their country.
And your 4 years at Burke High School, what was that like?
It wasn't 4 years, because I did a lot of moving. I did the second half of my junior year and my senior year at Burke High School, but it was a magnificent experience.
I bet. A lot of great teachers are still there.
Yes. Dorothy Wright,
right.
Mr. Holmes.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Chapman.
That's right.
You know, yeah, awesome.
Yes. And let's talk about something that I like to do, which is describe to me the following one word: politics.
Politics, it's supposed to just be people coming together, looking out for the greater good of the entire community. But it's become a cesspool of self-interest. And hopefully, the limits of tyranny are prescribed by the endurance of the oppressed, Frederick Douglass. So it will continue to be as such if the people continue to come out and vote less than 25% of the voting age population.
Yeah.
When we have that type of participation in our democracy, we're putting in danger our own democracy.
One word to describe consulting.
Helping people.
Yes. The East Side.
The East Side. Home.
Charleston City Council.
Charleston City Council. Challenges.
Kwadjo Campbell.
Child of God.
Yes, you are. You know, people don't know that you love history, you love politics and consulting. But what is something that people don't know about you?
A lot of people, I guess, didn't know I was an artist. So poetry,
yes,
theater. Write them, direct them.
Yes,
and still participate.
And you know, I knew your daughter when she was little, but you know, when I was doing my calculations a couple of days ago, I know that she's 17 years old now.
The oldest is 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me, how is she? I mean,
she's doing great. Her and my second daughter, they go to a very prestigious private school, Renoir.
That's great.
And they're outstanding.
I bet they are.
Yes. All my kids on the road doing well.
That's good. You know, there have been rumors that you want to run for mayor of North Charleston, or mayor of the city of Charleston. But when you look into your crystal ball, what do you see in your future?
I'm enjoying myself in the private sector, doing what I'm doing in the private sector. I love teaching. I have no intention right now of seeking any public office anywhere.
Okay. Well, Kwadjo Campbell, was so great talking to you.
Well, Quintin, good seeing you too, man.
Thank you.
My homeboy.
Thank
you.